Sziasztok, szép jó estét kívánok mindenkinek! Ma a végigjátszásunk 43. részében elmegyünk Sumeruba, és nekiállunk az Archon Questnek, jelenleg itt vagyunk a kezemben, ahol is van egy átjárunk Sumeruba, bár ugye én már felfedezgettem a térképet, tehát kicsit előrébb vagyok ilyen szempontból, de átmegyünk a hivatalos úton. Mellesleg Sumeru a legnagyobb terület az egész játékban. Egészen innen a kezemtől délre majd jön a sivatagos része, ez mind Sumeru idáig. Úgyhogy hatalmas ez a pálya. Én mondjuk már ezeket az utazási pontokat felfedezgettem a szabadidőmben, hogy legalább ennyit könnyítsek a végigjátszáson. Megnézzük az Archon Quest első részét. Majd 640 primónál kihúzzuk ezt a 10 standard wish-t, és utána egyesével húzunk Shironenre. Hát ha, bár valószínűleg mivel a garantált karaktert már megkaptuk előző húzásoknál. Sajnos egyáltalán nem biztos, hogy Shironen fog kiesni. Szia Exa! De azért reménykedünk hátha. Dendro pillangó.
To Sumeru, our next objective should be to head to Sumeru City and find a way to meet with Lesser Lord Kusanali. And speaking of Lesser Lord Kusanali, even though we haven't heard too much about her, she doesn't seem to be the same deity who abducted your brother.
Hát, az biztos, hogy nem.
People call Sumeru the nation of wisdom, you know. If we can get a chance to meet the god of wisdom, maybe she can give us some useful information.
Rendben, ez úgy hangzik, mint egy terv.
But, Paimon doesn't know the way to Sumeru City. Maybe we can climb up to that spot with the statue of the Seven on it. That'll give us a way better view of things. Even if we can't see exactly where the city is, at least we'll be able to check for some smaller settlements nearby.
Ott egy láda. Ja, mert a Szíri elment a helyére. Oh, hello.
Wait a second. Look! There's someone up ahead! Perfect timing! Now we can just ask for directions rather than wander around like lost adventurers.
Gratula. Hát én nem tudom, ma 4 húzásom lesz bele, vagy nagyon talán 5. Ez le se szart minket. Simán tovább ment. 78-ra jött. Ja, az a baj, hogy neked garantált volt, én nekem nem garantált. Sajnos.
What's going on here? There's no way she could have missed that. Wait, could she be ignoring us? How dare she?
Biztos megvan az oka rá, Paimon.
Well,
nem volt olcsó. Kötöttél? Vagy azért, mert ugye, hogy 78-ra jött ki. Mondjuk utóbbi időben nem nagyon szokott 60 alatt nekem se esni. Egyedül talán Navia C1-ét mákoltam el. A fegyvereknél előbb volt ilyen szerencsém fegyverbenneren. Jó, köszi. De... És hova lett? Ja. Uff, buktad a 50-50-t. Mondjuk az borzasztó, főleg amikor ilyen sokára adja be. Éppen betép az élete.
What should we do now? Do we try asking her for directions again?
Persze, próbáljuk meg.
Alright then.
Mi rossz
Not like we have
történhet?
anyone else we can ask. Even if she's not very friendly, we just need her to point us in the right direction. That's all. Oh. What a lovely smell. It's coming from that sensor over there. This is definitely not your typical place to call home, but at least it smells nice. Maybe living here wouldn't be too bad after all.
Mikor jön? Mavujka? 5.3 végén, ha jól tudom. Azt hiszem akkor fog kijönni az Ark Conquest vége,
What's the matter?
és azzal
You
együtt
don't
jön
look
be,
too
ha
good.
minden igaz. Ez a szag! Valami nem stimmel.
Is the smell making you feel sick?
Ja, 5.3-ról hallottam én
Paimon
is.
doesn't feel anything.
Le kell húznunk innen. De hogy elnézem, nem fogunk.
What's happening? Traveler? This is no time for a nap. Oh, come on.
Uff. Jó, beálljutunk. Oh shit! Ez az ez az a... nem tudom mi a neve ennek a fának. De ez a Dendroarkonhoz van valami köze, de nem tudom a részleteket, mert ugye ez nekem már új. Franco. Oké. Fel kell jutnom ahhoz a fényhez. Vagy megteszi helyettem a játék. Valami egyébként már most olyan érzésem van, hogy ennek az Ark Conquestnek a végét lehet, hogy megkönnyezem élőben.
Traveler's been out. Yes, you can relax. Believe me, Master is extremely knowledgeable.
Mert eddig, amikkel
If he says that
találkoztam,
she's going to
nagyon,
be alright,
tényleg annyira
then there's
szomorú
absolutely
történetekkel,
nothing to
az
worry about.
mindegyik még azelőtt volt, hogy elkezdtem streamelni a végigjátszást.
Oh, are you
Olej.
awake now?
De tudom, hogy... Hú, de gyorsan akartam mondani, úristen. Pázd meg. Na mindegy, lényeg az, hogy Kusanarinak a rendkívül szomorú a
Oh,
sztoria.
thank goodness, Traveler, you're finally awake!
Hol vagyok?
Well, we're at... Good question. Where are we? Paimon was in such a panic when you passed out that she even forgot to ask what place this is. This is Gandharvaville. It was originally built by scholars from Sumeru as a place to rest in the rainforest. Now it's mainly used by the forest rangers as a base of operations. My name is Kale. I'm a trainee forest ranger. My master and I found you passed out during our patrol, so we brought you here.
Köszönöm, hogy segítettetek rajtam.
No things are necessary. I didn't do anything really. By the way, how are you feeling now? Any discomfort?
Keserű ízt érzek a számban.
Oh, that's Master's herbal medicine you're tasting. He gave you some while you were unconscious. Before I forget, Master mentioned you should take more medicine once you wake up.
Még keserűbb legyen a szám. Ej.
Whoops!
Kale, what's the matter? Were you trying to retrieve the medicine? As I've already told you, you must be careful with these. I'll get it for you once I am finished here.
Sorry, Master.
Now, The guide to Avidia Forest's edible fungi is clearly posted on our bulletin board, but if Farbode forgets which mushrooms to avoid one more time, I'll have no choice but to leave the guide somewhere a little more visible. Like right smack on his forehead so others can remind him to be careful.
Right? This is the second time he's come down with food poisoning this month. I'll be sure to give him a good talking to.
Fasza.
Yes, please do. If on the off chance Farbode simply enjoys having little imaginary fairies dance before his eyes, then we'll just let him be. But the next time he requires any of our medicine, be sure to charge him accordingly.
Taineri vagy Tigneri? Soha nem
So,
tudom.
how are you doing? Feeling better?
Oh, this is my master, Forest Watcher Tainari.
Taineri.
He's chief
Ah,
officer over all the ranches here
Tainari.
in Gandharville.
nem- Ezt se fogom megjegyezni, hogy az A-t egy kicsit el
I
kell
already
nyújtani.
informed Paimon about the reason you fell unconscious earlier. But now that you're awake, let me explain it for you as well. It is
Okay.
common practice for Sumeru scholars of certain darshans to dedicate themselves to training in meditation in isolated areas, particularly the nearby forests. While meditating, they use a certain incense known as spirit borneal to help calm their minds as they enter a state of deep rumination. In hopes of asking directions, you two followed a scholar named Hypatia into her cave. The incense you smelled inside was the spirit borneal I just mentioned. That incense typically has no effect on most people, but for a very select few, it can have profound effects on one's cognition, as you experienced firsthand. Does that make sense?
Aha, érthető.
Very good. Now, answer me this. Did you feel anything after passing out? Say, any out-of-body experiences, or did you see anything while unconscious?
Azt is lehet mondani. Jól elmeséljük, hogy mit
Kale,
láttunk.
let the others know to stop bringing their patrol logs here for now.
Huh? Why?
Because these two will be staying here for the next few days. They can have my room, and I'll bunk with Amir. Now get a move on, and be sure to do as I've said.
Yes, Master Tainari.
Oké. Tehát egy darabig itt kell maradnunk a
Hold on
faluban.
a second. Can you tell us what's going on?
Sure, let me fill you in. I originally planned to send you on your way once you finished your medicine. However, it appears now that you should stay a while longer in Gandharvaville for further observation while you recuperate.
Ja.
Further observation?
De el kéne jutnunk Sumeru Citybe.
No need to be hasty. As long as you have the capacity to judge between right and wrong, I promise that you'll understand the gravity of the situation once I explain everything to you. Based on what you saw after smelling the incense and losing consciousness, we can conclude that you experienced a powerful hallucination, which suggests your mental state is not in the best of shape.
Remek.
If
Meggajdultam.
you're skeptical, have a whiff of this.
What?
Oh, are you okay?
You're experiencing a similar sensation as when you passed out, aren't you? So even though your condition is stable as of now, if I were to haphazardly let you leave, it's highly likely that you'd suddenly pass out again somewhere else. The rainforest is home to many fierce animals and hazardous areas. If something were to happen to you again, I'm afraid you might not be so lucky. For now,
Értem.
I suggest you continue taking your medicine each day and avoid wandering off on your own. At least until you stop having adverse reactions to this kind of smell. Okay?
Megértettem.
Good. Now, continue resting while I fire up another bowl of medicine for you.
Csodálatos. Gyógyszeren fogok élni napokig.
Just arrived in Sumeru and we're already having problems left and right. Paimon knows we're set on meeting Lesser Lord Kusanali as soon as possible, but you really don't look too good. It'd probably be best to let you recover first. Hey! Are you even listening to Paimon? Paimon's over here worrying about you, you know.
De csak egy kicsit furcsának
What's
találom.
weird? You mean how you're feeling now?
Aha. Olyan furcsának érzem a testem.
You mean the vision of tree roots and red skies you saw? But if those weren't hallucinations, what could they be?
Nem vagyok benne biztos.
Well, considering how unique you are, Paimon trusts your judgment here. But why didn't you say anything about it to Tainari? If he misjudged your condition, then there's a chance you could get worse, right?
Nem hiszem, hogy rosszabbodna.
You mean that Tainari already knows that what you saw weren't hallucinations? But if that's the case, why would he try to hide that from us?
Utána kell járnunk.
Paimon gets it now. That explains why you were so quiet earlier. Well, that settles it then. We'll stay here to rest up and figure out what's going on with your hallucinations. But it seems like asking Tainari might not be an option anymore. What do you think we should do?
Beszélgessünk-e Collei-jel?
Good idea. Collie's pretty friendly. We can ask her tomorrow about what she knows regarding the Dendro Archon and customs in Sumeru.
Rasszizmus. Rasszizmus mindenütt.
Rise and shine! Come on, it's time to go find Collie!
Láda, amit nem tudok kinyitni. Nem vagyunk messze. Van már annyi Sumeru rózsám, nem tudom miért izgatta fel ennyire a fantáziámat.
All right, next let's see your right hand. Not bad. But please remember that you still need to be careful, understand?
Yes, I will. By the way, Master, I still haven't received the patrol route for today.
Look, Kale, today's patrol will be a long one, so you won't be coming along this time. Besides, there's a chance we may encounter... Well, you understand.
But I have a vision too! Am I useless to everyone now?
Don't talk like that, Kale. This is not something you need to be worrying about right now. Ah, there you are. Feeling any better?
Tudok bármiben segíteni? Ez a szokásos kérdésünk minden egyes részben.
Seems you're not the type to sit back and take it easy for a while, huh? In that case, perhaps Kale could take you two for a patrol south of Gandharvaville for the day. And if you're feeling up to it, you can be responsible for cleaning the Statue of the Seven.
Tainari, we're ready to head out.
Got it! I'll be right there!
Jó, hogy nem takarítónőt
We'll be heading
faragtok
into the
belőlem.
forest now. I'll leave any further details to Kale.
Yes, you can count on me.
So, Kale, what exactly are we going to be doing today? Tainari mentioned cleaning the statue just now, but, that doesn't really sound like the job for a ranger.
Well, a forest ranger's responsibilities can be pretty diverse. They handle a variety of tasks, like checking the condition of outlying roads, maintaining forest facilities, ensuring fire prevention standards are met, and providing assistance to travelers and locals. As for Master, well, he has to handle more dangerous areas of the rainforest. Today we can perform routine checks on the pathway lamps as we make our way to the Statue of the Seven.
Megbeszéltük.
Hi, Mom! Traveler, this way! You can leave the task of checking the lamps to me. In the meantime, you
Az
two
oké.
can keep an eye out for
De én
anything
előbb
unusual.
csekkolni akarom ezt a csillagot a térképen. Hol a viharba vagy? What? Ha. Ez érdekes. Fönt van a fán, ne basszák el, és ott van fönt a fán, hát beszarok. De pillanatra láttam megcsillanni a világos zöldet. Ups. Nem ez volt a tervezett útvonal, de ha már lecsúsztam. Ja, hát nekem a túloldalon kéne lennem. Ugyan Sumeru hatalmas, de legalább az utazást ennyi, ezekkel a cuccokkal megkönnyítették. De amúgy meg kéne jelölnöm, hogy ne felejtsem itt. Majd egyszer felmászunk érte, de nem most lesz. Mondjuk lehet, hogy fel tudnék menni ezekkel a vackokkal, amik oda húznak. Hova megyek, ide megyek.
Nothing wrong with these two lamps. Let's move to the next ones.
Lamps. Ja, persze, ilyen lámpáik vannak itt. Marha tetszik amúgy ez a design. Még éjszaka nem láttam ezeket a
This
lámpákat.
lamp seems to be getting a little wobbly. Let me make a note of it. No problems with this lamp. Good.
Oh.
The statue of the Seven is up on top of that large rock formation. You must have seen it when you came down this road before. It's
Igen.
pretty high up there, isn't it? Don't worry. If you're afraid you can't make it up there, I'm sure Master wouldn't mind if you don't clean the statue.
Ne aggódj, profi egymászó vagyok.
I guess I'll leave it up to you then. There's not much footing once you reach the statue, so be careful up there.
Paimon will fly up with you and help you with those hard-to-reach areas. By the way, Kale, do you know anything about the Dendro Archon? You know, what's she like?
That depends. Are you referring to Greater Lord
Yeah, I
Rukadevata
am.
or Lesser Lord Kusanali?
Huh? Greater Lord Rukadevata? Oh, is that the name of the former Dendro Archon?
Uh-huh. Greater Lord Rukadevata was Sumeru's first Dendro Archon. She created the rainforest as well as the wall of Samiel around the desert. Her works provided a means of peaceful living for everyone. To the people of Sumeru, she's
Felhúzta a
not
falat
only a symbol
Mexikó
of
és az
wisdom,
USA
but also
között.
of power and kindness. Unfortunately, she disappeared in a great calamity that occurred a few hundred years ago. According to what Master has told me, the sages later found the newly born Dendro Archon and whisked her back to Sumeru. To celebrate the reinstatement of their lost deity, the sages dubbed her Lesser Lord Kusanali and let her reside in the sanctuary of Siristana.
Uh-huh. Then what happened?
Well, and then... I'm not too sure what happened, to be honest.
Huh? You're not too sure? But aren't you from Sumeru?
Yeah, I'm from Sumeru. But...
Maybe it's difficult to discuss this topic with strangers. If that's the case, then don't worry, we understand.
No, it's not that. I'm not trying to hide something from you. Besides, I don't consider you two strangers. Because you two know Amber, right?
Wait, Amber? You mean...
A nagy szoffaval
Yes,
Nilsból?
that's her. I once lived in Mondstadt for a while, and she helped me a lot during that time. You could even say that she helped me become a new person. There's no one like Amber. She lives life to the fullest while always adhering to her strong sense of justice. She's ready to answer the call for action at any moment, but is also very understanding of others. She's like the spark that lights the fire in everyone's heart around her. If you ask me, she's a prime example of a true outrider. She's the first person anyone coming to Mondstadt will meet. You can't help but be enthralled by her charm and enthusiasm, causing you to fall in love with the lands of Mondstadt and... Sorry.
Még ezt az oldaladat nem láttuk.
Paimon thought the work of Outriders was a little different from what you just described, but one thing's for sure, you really like Amber.
Sorry. I was rambling on just now. It must have sounded kind of weird.
It's alright, Kale. Knowing that you're a friend of Amber somehow makes Paimon suddenly feel a lot closer to you. So, how do you know that we've met Amber?
Well, after I returned to Sumeru, Amber and I have stayed in touch by writing each other letters. In one letter, she mentioned that Mondstadt was attacked by a fearsome dragon, but the city was saved by a mysterious blonde traveler and their floating companion. I knew you two were the ones she mentioned in the letter the moment I saw you. But, considering everything you've been through that day, I thought it'd be inappropriate to bring it up.
So that's how you knew.
Érthető.
Yep, so please know that you two have my complete trust. Really. I wish I could tell you more about the Dendro Archon, but I have been away from Sumeru for some time, and I haven't read any books. Sorry.
That's alright. You've already helped us a lot. We had never even heard of Greater Lord Rukadevata or the Sanctuary of Suristana until you mentioned them.
Oh, I'm happy that was helpful. There is one thing I want to ask, though. Why do you two want to know about the Dendro Archon?
Hát, mert találkozni akarunk vele.
So that's why you're here. Thank you for telling me your story.
Don't mention it. We are friends after all, right?
Yep, yep.
All right, we have a statue to clean.
You both have my thanks. While you two are up there cleaning, I'll go ahead and inspect the forest canopy. Let's meet back here shortly.
Akkor takarítsunk szobrot.
Now that Paimon looks at it, the deity that's carved on the statue is kinda small. Do you think she's supposed to be Greater Lord Rukkhadevata or Lesser Lord Kusanali?
Vagy mindkettő.
The name does seem to fit the statue somehow. Well, anyway, we'll have to figure that out later. Let's get started on cleaning the statue. Paimon will fly up and take care of the top and you clean everything below.
Na, a nagy takarítás.
Nice work.
Fantasztikus.
That's one clean
Szerintem
statue.
ugyanúgy néz ki, mint
Let's head down
előtte.
and meet up with Kale.
De azért letakarítottuk.
Kale, we're back!
Welcome back! You must be tired after all that climbing. Let's take a little break. I brought some fruit and water for us.
Yay,
Ne.
food! What kind of goodies did you bring?
Fogd vissza magad, Paimon.
Hey, don't be a party pooper. It's not like Kale is a stranger or anything. Besides, the best way to compliment a chef is to show passion for their food. Xiangling taught Paimon that.
I prepared a nice portable dish that forest rangers like to eat called pita pockets. I hope you'll like them. Whoops!
No, you dropped it on the ground!
Not to worry. I wrapped a few layers of oiled paper around each pita. They should be fine.
Oh, whew. Paimon nearly had a heart attack there.
Szóval Kollej elég ügyetlen,
Those pitas are amazing! You're quite
ahogy
the
eddig
cook, Kale.
megtudtuk.
Thank goodness you wrapped them in paper. Paimon wouldn't have been able to sleep at night knowing something so tasty had been wasted.
You really know how to compliment the chef, Paimon. Since you liked it so much, I'll be sure to give you a copy of the recipe sometime. I'll even include all my personal cooking pointers, so you'll be making your own pita pockets in no time.
Yay! Thanks,
Jéj!
Kale!
Még
It's
több
hard to
recept.
believe someone as diligent as you could have clumsy moments too.
Oh, I guess it
Mikor
happens
lesznek
from
5
time to
csillagos
time.
receptjeim? Mert az Adeptus Temptation-t leszámítva még soha nem láttam 5 csillagos receptet a
Don't you
játékban.
think that Tainari's a little too strict with you? He won't let you touch anything without his permission. Paimon knocks stuff over all the time flying around the Traveler, but she's never said anything. Everyone has their clumsy moments.
No, you've got the wrong idea about Master. Sure, he may seem a bit harsh at first, but with some time, you'll see that he's actually very kind-hearted. I've heard the veteran rangers say that Master is from some ancient and mysterious race that is known for their cunning wit and reclusive nature. But Master is actually very kind at heart. Oh, by the way, you've heard of the Academia, right? Well, there's a group called, something? Well, anyway, because Master does a lot of research on plants, sages from the Academia have written him many times, inviting him to take up an official position there. But Master declines their offers every time, saying, Sumeru City is too noisy. It'd be bad for my ears.
Jaj. Hát, ha már a füleiről beszélünk, rohadtul megsimogatnám őket.
I know, right? I've always wanted to pet them too. Anyway, Master could have easily left the rainforest to take up a position at the Academia, but he chose to stay here instead as a forest watcher, helping the locals every day and passing on his knowledge to trainees. In fact, Master's the one who taught me how to make pita pockets.
Tükörtojás.
Really? Paimon would have never guessed that.
Nekem az a legnagyobb bajom a főzéssel, hogy annyi kaját lefőztem már, mert akárhányszor megtanulok egy receptet, automatikusan megcsinálom belőle azt a mennyiséget, hogy automatikusan lehessen készíteni. És ezért annyira tele vagyok 1, 2, meg 3 csillagos kajákkal, hogy nem bírom elfogyasztani sokszor az 1 csillagosokat se.
Oh, speaking of Tainari,
Mert én meg
I was
annyira
the one who
ritkán
took care
használok.
of you after
Néha,
finding you passed out yesterday.
amikor a
I even carried you
legendekek
all the way
akarok
here.
neki esni, vagy amikor valami nagyon kemény bossnak, akkor eszek egyedül buffot. De nem fogy el. Az újraélesztést azt nagyon ritkán használom, mert ugye ott vannak a szobrok, hogyha 2 csata között van rá szükség. Healelni meg ott van Furina meg Bennett. Tehát azt se nagyon szok. Most kezdtem el hogy a héten, hogy próbáltam inkább kaját enni a helyet, hogy velük hírelek, hogy fogjon.
Paimon's still kinda upset though. He kept scolding Paimon the entire way here.
Mi történt?
Oh no, I'm sorry. Master might have been overreacting a
De
little.
amúgy van kérdésem a kajákkal kapcsolatban, mert hülye
But,
vagyok
it's
hozzá.
mostly because Paimon wouldn't stop yelling. Why, oh why?
Már
Is
úgy,
she
hogy
going
amik
to
ilyen...
die? It
Azt hiszem,
probably started to get under Master's skin after a while.
azt hiszem ilyen csillaggal vannak jelölve, és nem tudom, hogy azok mit csinálnak, mert nem írja le a játék. Azoknak mi a lényege?
Hey! Don't laugh! Paimon was genuinely concerned about you. Hey! Now even Kali's starting to laugh. Ugh, that's it! Paimon won't forget this. It's time for some primordial wrath! No!
Most azt hittem elver minket. Ja, azt hiszem.
Oh, sorry, Kale. Paimon didn't mean to scare you.
No, I just... I didn't mean that.
Kale, are you okay? What's the matter?
No, I'm... I'm fine. I'm sorry. I must have startled you both reacting like that.
Hát, hogyha lemegy ez a
Well, it's
hosszú
10 right now.
beszélgetés,
Let's hurry back to Gandharvaville.
akkor megmutatom, hogy mire gondolok.
Huh? What was up with Kale just now?
Tudom, hogy ezek
Why
újak,
is she in such a hurry all of a sudden?
de még egyet se ettem meg belőlük. Tehát tudod, hogy ezekre gondolok. Hogy ez... Igen, igen. De semmi olyan leírás, tehát egy kis meglepetés, és akkor kösz, de amúgy pont. Tehát mit csinál? Mert még a leírásból se jövök rá. De nem tudom, hogy mi az értelme ezeknek. És még nem próbáltam ki egyet sem, most kipróbáljunk egyet. Oké.
I really want to go traveling. I don't mind where we go, as long as I have my
Semmi
friends with me.
effektet, nem kaptunk effektet. Semmi, látványra nincs semmi változás, nem tudom, hogy mire jó. Valami értelme csak van. Aztán kiderül, hogy növeli a lakkot, hogyha húzol
You've returned.
banneren.
Yep, we're back. Have you seen Kale by any chance?
Az mennyire durva lenne már?
Oh,
Hogy mondjuk
Kale? Yes, I saw her go into her room
Nem
just a moment
tudod.
ago.
lefőzni a kaját.
Oh, okay. Guess we'll just have to wait and talk to her tomorrow then.
Ja. Na például, ami mocskosul bosszant, hogy a napi bejelentkezésből 1000-rel kapom ezeket a kajákat, és nem tudom elhasználni, mert a crit rate 9% a legkisebb, de addig nem akarok a magasabbakból zabálni, amíg nem fogy el a kisebbik. Mert egyébként meg nem használom őket. És soha nem fogy el, mert mindig kapom minden héten 6-ot. És annyit meg nem bosszolok. Csókolom, szép napot. Na, akkor magát is megkérdezem, mik ezek a csillagos kaják? Mert most kitaláltam, hogy azért, így most magamba kitaláltam, hogy azért, mert Primogemes jele van, ezért ez most növeli a lakkomat. És akkor most megettem egyet, és most kell húznom, vagy nem tudom. Ó, várni kell reggel 8-ig. Akkor lehet, hogy megnézzük azt a csillagot. Te se vágod. Mert arra is gondoltam, hogy nem csinálnak semmit, csak most, hogy felhívta rá a figyelmem Exa, hogy a Primogemre hasonlít, így eszembe jutott, hogy és mi van, hogyha növeli a szerencsédet. Hol? Ebben az irányba. Ja, ott vagy-e? Ott vagy. Very nice. Már le is vesszük a térképre. Még kell 24 primo, hogy azt mondjam, hogy húzunk. Nem emlékszem, melyik volt Kollainak a háza, úgyhogy várunk reggelig.
Paimon was thinking
Hát nem
all
itt volt.
night about what happened with Kale, and still can't figure out what the problem might be. Maybe she's in a better mood now. Let's go.
Ah, it's you two. I was just about to go look for you.
Huh? Tainari? What are you doing here? Where's Kale?
I came to check on Kale's condition. To put it simply, she's not well.
You mean she's sick? How could she be? Oh, wait a minute. Could it be because of what Paimon did yesterday?
Szia, Kevin. Szia.
No, no need to worry. Something as small as you could never harm her. This sickness is something that Kale has been dealing with for some time. Kale has been more excited than usual since you two arrived. A little too much so, to be honest. She hasn't remembered to take care of herself. I suppose it's understandable, though. She hasn't been around anyone she considered a friend for some time now. It must have been refreshing for her to have you two here.
Sumeru bizony.
So, Tainari,
Akt
what's
1.
really wrong with Kale?
Let's take this conversation elsewhere. Kale just fell asleep after taking her medicine. She needs some peace and quiet.
Akkor báj neked is. Mi PTSD-d van tőle, vagy mi van? És hova megyek? Ja, oda. De amúgy benne van a címben is, tehát.
All right, let's continue our conversation here, shall we? To be honest, I hadn't realized you're that honorary knight from Mondstadt until Kale told me just now. I've also heard all about your deeds in Liyue and Inazuma. So just to clarify, what I'm about to tell you about Kale is not because of who you are or your past feats. Instead, I am going to tell you because, well, because Kale asked me to. And honestly speaking, I was against Kale revealing her past to you. But she insisted, saying you two treated her with sincerity and as a friend. So now she wishes to reciprocate the gesture.
So, Tainari, what exactly is wrong with Kale? You said this is something she's been dealing with for some time. Just how serious is it?
Hát az Aranara az nem Arkon Quest. Vagy az is kötelező hozzá? Nem, az sima World Quest, az nem kötelező. Vagy annyira hosszú lesz ez a rész?
Right. Ever since she was a
Mert-
child, she's been afflicted with a disease called Elazar.
Mert Maxornak láttam a videóját. A Genshin Impact is a playable animate. És abban benne volt, nem is abban volt, bocsánat, ezt Mr. Feet-nél láttam. Hogy rohadt sokat kellett például a városba kísérni valakit.
Yes. It's a disease unique to the lands of Sumeru. It is characterized by dark and
Aha.
hardened scales that form on the body.
Hát Sumeruban van a leghosszabb Archon Quest, magasan a leghosszabb. Egyébként. Nem
At
tudom, hogy
first,
fogja-e
the
valamelyik
afflicted
is
may only
überelni
feel mild numbness on affected
mennyiségbe.
areas of the skin. However, as the disease progresses, one may begin feeling fatigued and even experience peripheral paresthesia. In its final stages, the disease strips a person of the ability to control their own body, and they effectively become completely immobile.
That sounds terrifying.
De akkor mi az értelme? Csak dísznek van? Na mindegy. Elveszítik teljesen az uralmat a testük
Wait,
fölött.
hold on. So when Kale seemed to be acting a little clumsy earlier, it was because...
Correct. That would be the effects of Elazar, which is precisely why I do not want her carrying or holding anything, lest she ends up hurting herself.
És van bármilyen gyógymód erre az Elazar nevű
With
betegségre?
appropriate treatment, the disease can be effectively controlled before it progresses to a more serious stage. However, there is unfortunately still no true cure for Elazar.
Other special food. Ja.
Nevertheless, Kale's mother still hoped that there was
Hú,
something
szóra.
out there. She handed Kale over to an organization known as the Fatui after one of their members lied and said they had a cure.
Mi 20 óra? Na, az viszont megszor videójában volt, hogy azt mondta, hogy megcsinálhatod akár a 8 órás Aranara questet is, és akkor nekiestem egy hónapra rá az Aranarának, és akkor mondom, azek, 11 órája benne vagyok a küldibe, de még nem látom a végét. Mi a franc? Mi az, hogy 8 óra? Ott nem tudom, hogy ő valami speedrunner, vagy mi a francot csinál.
What?
Vagy csak nagyon alá tippelte az időt.
Ah, it appears you already are familiar with them. That'll save me some explanation.
Aztán 11 és fél óra alatt tudtam megcsinálni.
Anyway, the person who eventually rescued Kale and brought her to me for care said that she had been given to a harbinger known as the Doctor.
Doctor.
I have no idea how this doctor managed to do it, but her case of Elazar was completely stable for all the years that Kale was with them. However, Kale's days with the Fatui were anything but pleasant.
Skip combo. De az a helyzet, hogy nekem úgy, hogy végig skippeltem a szöveget. Nekem úgy volt 11 és fél. Mert nem volt türelmem ahhoz a sok beszédhez. Nagyon keveset olvastam végig. Brutálisan sokat kellett az Aranarába
Kale
beszélni.
is a resilient individual and always tries to appear cheerful, but her experience with the Fatui has left deep scars. Even now, she can still feel deathly afraid of someone touching her.
Oh, Paimon had no idea Kale's been through so much suffering.
Doktor az egy köcsög. Az...
Oh, by the way,
Szeret
Paimon,
kísérletezni.
Kale wanted me to tell you that she's sorry for scaring you yesterday. She also wanted both of you to know that she's sorry for hiding her illness.
She doesn't need to apologize. None of this is her fault at all.
Normál esetben amiket már ismerek, küldiket, azokat skippelek. Az Aranara volt az első, amit tényleg azért elskippeltem, mert nem bírtam már kivárni.
Well said. I hope you'll get a chance to tell her that in
Tetszik.
person the next time you see her. Kale once thought that it would be impossible for her to have any real friendships. I trust
És
that you
amúgy
two will never
hol
let my
tartasz
training
most
experience
Sumeru
such emotional
Arkonba?
pain again.
Don't worry,
Hányadik
Tonari.
aktba vagy?
We'll take good
Vagy már
care of her.
befejezted? És mi a helyzet korai jelenlegi állapotával?
Well, it's not too serious at this point. She overexerted herself the last couple of days, which is what led her to break down this time. As long as she has taken her medicine and gets plenty of rest, she should get better. Though I must admit that Kale's condition was much more stable when she first arrived here in Gandharvaville. She was interested in the work of the forest rangers the moment she saw us. I could see that she was serious about learning, so I felt compelled to ask her to join us.
Akkor a vége fele vagy te már. Az lesz az a rész valószínűleg, ahol majd megkönnyezem a
Her
játékot.
stamina has gotten much worse recently. Though a moderate amount of physical exercise is always necessary, I'm afraid the long-distance patrols are a little too much for her now. Alright, now that I've told you about Kale's
Ez
past,
már valahol az
I think
utolsó
I'll head into the
háromnegyedébe
rainforest
van,
to
de
find
nem
some
tudom
ingredients
pontosan.
needed for her medicine.
Ja,
I'll see you two later.
jöhetünk mi is?
Yeah, we'd like to do something to help Kale too.
Alright, but I must warn you two. The rainforest is a dangerous place, especially for someone who's still recovering, like the traveler. You must follow closely and listen to every instruction.
No
Úgy
problemo.
lesz.
Let's go then. We'll be looking for a plant known as the Nilot Pala lotus.
Jaj, ne!
It's often used to help those afflicted with Elazar recover their energy.
Jaj, ne!
Hey, Tainari?
Én azt
Where
nem akarom.
exactly are we going to find this plant?
Nilot Pala lotuses can be found all over the rainforest, but it often grows right here around Gandharvaville.
Given the name, it sounds like we should be looking for it in the water.
You are correct. The Nilot Pala lotus grows in
Ez
the
gyors
water.
tutorial
When
volt.
fully matured, they look like giant blue flowers floating on the water.
Ezeket a lótuszokat, ezektől nekem
The large petals
herótom
are
van.
actually the plant's leaves and sepals, which surround a very small flower.
Mert amikor én elkövettem azt a hibát, hogy elkezdtem húzni Leilát, hát nem tudom elmondani, hogy hány napom ment rá, hogy meglegyen az a lótusz mennyiség, amire szüksége van.
Okay.
Aztán meg rájöttem, hogy nem érte meg felhúzni, és elpazaroltam a matikat, de
You
De
should note that many of the
tök
plants found in
feleslegesen
Sumeru have
megszenvedtem
names
vele.
that are contrary to their species. Take the Cowpelata, for example. The plant is not a lotus at all, but rather a vine.
Én
And
utálom.
then there's the Sumeru rose, which is not a rose and is completely contrary to its name.
Oh, huh.
Nem tudom mikor mondja azt, igen. Nem tudom mikor mondja azt a játék, hogy jó
There
van,
should be
akkor
Nilot Pala
cutscene.
lotuses growing somewhere in this area. Let's split up and begin searching. If you could manage to gather 4 of them, that would be sufficient. We'll rendezvous here once you've gathered the needed amount.
Rendben.
How brilliant!
All right, we've gathered enough Nilot Pala lotuses. Let's head back to meet Tainari. Hey, Tainari.
Mert
We found a
amúgy
Let me have a
nagyon
look.
kevés van belőlük, összesen 30 valahány van az egész
These are all
pályán,
excellent quality. I'm glad you two came along.
és
Your exploration
borzasztó volt,
experience
hogy
helped save
mindig
me a lot of
várni egy
time here.
napot, hogy
It
tudjam
seems we even
gyűjteni.
have
Hey, Tainari!
Oh, Tainari, someone's calling your name. They're dressed like a forest ranger.
Ah, yes, that's Amir and the others. But didn't they just set off not too long ago? What are they doing back so early? Let's go find out what's going on.
Na meg ha még az Arkon Quest közben is kell majd a Witheringgel szórakozni, azon megint felhúzom magam. Ahány Witheringet megcsináltam, meg elpusztítottam, úristen!
Tainari, thank goodness we found you here. We were just about to head back and find you at Gandharvaville.
What's going on?
We just discovered a withering zone.
Ah! Miért?
The withering is back? But the patrol route you were on should have been already cleared just a week ago. It reappeared so quickly. Can you tell me the exact location?
It's up ahead, deep in the river valley. It's appeared in a spot that blocks nearly the
Annyira
entire narrow
éreztem.
part of the valley area. So we decided to come find you as quickly as possible.
And the radius of the contamination?
Sorry, I couldn't get a clear enough view to tell.
No one on
3
our
a
patrol
10-ből
team had
most
a vision,
megmondom.
and it appeared to still be spreading. So
Okay, I understand. You made the right decision. I'll go deal with it right away. In the meantime, please guide these two back to Gandharvaville.
Wait, Tainari, why don't you let us help you?
You two have only just arrived in Sumeru. You're still unfamiliar with many things in these lands.
Hát nem, ezzel sajnos már van
There's a
tapasztalatom.
unique type of anomaly that occurs in the Sumeru rainforest. It's called the withering. The affected areas not only cause nearby vegetation to wither, but it's also lethal to wildlife and even people. If you don't carry a vision, then you should think twice before approaching such places.
Yes, Amir is absolutely right. I wasn't kidding when I said the rainforest is a dangerous place. As Amir said, only someone with a vision, that is, the power to manipulate elements, will be able to resist the withering's corrosive effects for a time.
That's right. If any of the forest rangers without a vision come across a withering zone, we first make a record of the location and then have a ranger with the proper abilities deal with it, like Tainari here. Only someone with a vision can venture within a withering zone and find a way to deal with it.
Hát, hogy
But you
tudok
don't seem to
segíteni?
carry a vision.
Don't worry, she may not have a vision.
Nincs
but she's a
visionem, de
real
van
pro
már
using
4
the power
eleme.
of the
Hátam
elements.
mögött 5.
Don't sweat it. We've had
Annak
partners
ellenére,
deal
hogy
with
még
similar
hivatalosan nem
situations
jártam
before.
Fontaineben.
Wait, you've met
Tényleg,
other forest
Pyro
rangers
Traveler?
before? I was planning to properly show you both how to identify the withering before you left
Mikor lesz
Gendarville.
Pyro Traveler? Arkon Quest végén? Hogyha befejeztük Natlan Arkon Questjét?
Anyway, since you two are experienced adventurers, come with me. I'm
Nem,
sure
arra
you'll both
kíváncsi
be able to
lennék a
help.
képességeire. Ó. 5.2 második felébe.
Hey, look!
Aha.
That gloomy area over there
Kíváncsi
looks like
leszek.
a withering zone. Even though Paimon's seen one before, it's still kinda scary.
All right, traveler. We're about to enter the withering zone. Since you already have experience dealing with these things, you should already know what to do. But please remember, don't push yourself. If at any point it becomes too much, return outside the zone and take a breather. It could become a matter of life and death. You ready then? Let's go.
Igazából ja, csináltam rohadt sok Withering Zone-t 2 hónappal ezelőtt, és halványak az emlékeim, de...
First, we must locate any branches sustaining the withering zone.
Coming at ya! Ha! Ah! Hiya!
Ne.
Watch out! Ha-ha!
Hogy volt ez? Ja, Charge Attack kellett.
Coming at ya!
És a harmadik meg ott van fent.
Coming at ya! Cha!
Hát nézd már! Ó, lement rólam.
Ha-ha! Ha-ha!
Great work. Now that all the branches have been cleared, we'll need to take care of the tumor.
What?
Now, destroy the tumor of the withering.
Ja.
We did it!
Fúj, de sokat kellett ebből a aranara alatt megcsinálni. Úristen!
Yes. Thanks to you two, we were
Húha.
able to quickly restore this area
Az
back to
egyik
normal.
küldetésága az teljesen erről szólt.
Tainari? You make it sound like we did well, but why does Paimon have the feeling you're worried about something?
It's that obvious, huh? Alright. It's like this. Recently, the rate at which withering zones appear has been increasing. Even though we were able to quickly clear that withering zone, it won't be long before another one appears. If that simply meant more work for me, then that wouldn't be an issue. But it's far more severe than that. The withering is leaving lasting effects on the rainforest itself. For instance, even though we cleared out the withering zone, many of the plants that were affected will not recover. This presents a crisis for the ecosystem itself. Many plants in the rainforest are already in decline, directly impacting the wildlife that depends on those plants. And most disturbingly, as the appearances of withering zones have started to increase, Kale's case of Elazar has also become more serious.
Huh? But why's that?
I'm still not sure of the exact reason. However, I've received word from acquaintances at the academia that similar cases are being reported for patients with other conditions.
És valahogy meg lehet örökre szabadulni a Witheringtől?
No, none that we know of. The withering has been recorded in Sumeru for millennia. It's said that it originates from the depths of the world. Oh, by the way, have you heard of Irminsul before?
Az a fa, amit láttunk, ha jól tudom.
Irminsul is a tree located
Yeah.
deep beneath the surface. Although it isn't like any tree we know in a biological sense, you can basically think of it as a large tree that grows downwards rather than upwards. I'm sure you've heard of ley lines, right? They're like the roots of Irminsul, spreading and extending from a massive cavern deep underground all the way up to the surface. Ley lines continually absorb the memories of this world, which are then funneled into Irminsul, allowing it to collect knowledge and wisdom from ancient times to present day. The Dendro Archon is known as the god of wisdom because her consciousness is directly connected to it. It is also said that the Dendro Archon's power is a manifestation of Irminsul. And as for the withering, its emergence is related to a disease that's affecting it.
Úgy érted, hogy Irminsul is beteg lehet?
That's right. My ancestors learned of this from Greater Lord Rukkhadevata's familiars a long time ago, but even those mysterious creatures did not know of a cure for Irminsul. I'm afraid we rangers will be battling the withering zones here for a long time, until a cure is found. Alright, that's enough on this topic for the time being. Now that we've taken care of things here, it's time for us to head back to Gandharvaville.
Oké. Csak gyorsan körülnéztem, van-e Lotus. Mert többször nem akarok nagyon vadászni rá, legfeljebb, ha útba esik, akkor mindig szedünk egy párat.
Oh, Tainari, you all made it back. How did it go?
The withering zone you reported has been taken care of. No need to worry. Huh? Wait, is that? Oh no, Hypatia!
Hmm?
Huh? What's wrong, Tainari?
This Duskbird is Hypatia's designated courier for urgent news. You do remember her, don't you? She's the scholar you and Paimon were following when you first arrived in Sumeru.
Huh?
Oh, her? How could we forget? So did something happen?
Let me see what's written in the letter first.
So what's it say? And what's with that weird expression on your face? Just let Paimon read it, huh? All Paimon sees are 3 squiggly lines.
Yes, allow me to explain. After we brought you from Hypatia's cave to Gandharvaville, Hypatia resumed her meditation. She must have just finished. It's been nearly 3 days since she's had anything to eat, and it appears she's forgotten to prepare some rations. This letter is her asking us for help. We need to go.
What? You mean she's been sitting there for 3 days? Hey, wait, how did you know all that from just a few lines on the paper?
Well, obviously because this has happened before. Last time she drew 5 lines, and by the time we found her... Well, I'd prefer not to remember that.
Oké.
Needless to say,
Szóval orvosi
Hypatia's
írása
been
van
through
neki.
worse, but we
Ha
should
be
still
van
get to her
tépve.
as quickly as possible. I've got some emergency rations set aside for times like these. Paimon, Traveler, could you two bring these to her?
Wait, you want
No, no.
us to bring her the rations? But will the Traveler be okay if her cave is still filled with that funny
Már nem
insect?
lesz tele, már elszívta az összeset.
Let's find out. Here, Traveler, take a smell and see. So, how do you feel?
Ezúttal nem érzek semmi különöset.
Really? You're not feeling even a little drowsy? But wait, how'd you know that she'd be okay this time, Tainari?
Back when we were clearing the Withering Zone, I observed that she could adeptly manipulate the Dendro element. I knew then that she would be fine. And if I may ask, when I was telling you two about Irminsul's ley lines, was what I described similar at all to what you saw when you were unconscious?
Amikor halucináltam?
That's correct. Those weren't hallucinations at all. Though I don't intend to apologize for deceiving you. Because what you saw is of significant importance. not just for the nation of Sumeru, but the entire world of Tevat. My forefathers were shown much favor by Greater Lord Rukkhadevata. We took an oath to protect this nation together with her. Now that that duty has fallen to me, it was a part of my responsibilities to ascertain whether you could be entrusted with the fate of Sumeru. Now, after seeing you in action with my own eyes, you have earned my confidence, and I no longer feel the need to hide any secrets from you.
Akkor egészen pontosan mit láttam?
When you passed out, your consciousness had connected directly with Irminsul. What you witnessed were actually real memories contained within Irminsul itself.
Aztán.
I could try to tell
Okay.
you more, but it would be better if you went to ask Hypatia instead. Her focus on meditation and use of Spirit Borneal are aimed at establishing a connection with Irminsul, just as you did.
That
Értem.
sounds nice and all, but will she really help us? Seriously, she completely ignored us the last time we tried talking to her.
That was because when you ran into her, she was in a special phase of her training. During that time, she must avoid communicating with others.
Oh, what the fuck.
Please, wait here for a moment.
Furcsák ezek a rituálék. Oké, várunk. Nagyon türelmesen várunk. Hát jó, mondjuk ilyen hosszú
Here, take these.
időhúzással, hogy sok ilyen van benne, el tudom képzelni, hogy rohadt hosszú az Arkon
I'm
Quest.
sure it'll come in handy. Also, here's a letter that I would like you to give to her. Just show it to her, and she'll answer any questions you may have.
Köszönöm szépen.
No, I should be the one thanking you. You've both been a great help these last few days.
Szuper! Megnézzük a nénit, hogy életben van-e még.
Hypatia should still be in the cave. Let's go inside and see how she's doing. Hello? Hypatia? Hey, there's nobody here. Maybe she went out to look for some food. Let's try looking around the area.
És mi van akkor, ha... Hallgass meg, olyan éhes volt, hogy megette saját magát, és ezért nem találjuk. Hát van ott kaja. Jaj, ne! Jaj, ne! Most nekem van PTSD-m. Jaj, ne!
There you are! Hypatia, are you alright?
So hungry.
There's no way we can get her to eat in her current condition. Let's try finding some water first.
Hát, mintha ahogy bejöttünk volna, lett volna víz.
Why does it look super foggy outside all of a sudden?
Oh, ne!
Anyway, let's go look around.
Rémálmaim lesznek.
How'd things out here end up looking like this? What happened? And where are we?
Nyugi.
Oh, maybe you're right. Let's go investigate the area.
És legalább át is vitt oda, vagy? Nem, most benn vagyunk valahol. Mert pont ugyanúgy néz ki ez a növényzet, mint itt valamelyik rész Panaranában. Fuck my life. Pedig azt hittem, hogy már túl vagyok ezeken a kis törpéken.
Wow, this place is huge! Paimon knew there's something off about that cave.
Láda!
Let's think of a way to get over there and have a closer look. Who knows? Maybe we'll find a lead of some kind. Hey there!
Uff. A szép számot. Igen. Jaj, de utálom ezeket a doméneket. Ó, el kell menni ezer irányba. Na, fantasztikus. Aha. Na jó, ez új.
What happened just now? Why'd everything around us suddenly change?
Inazuma szelleme megidézett minket, Paimon. Hiányzunk neki. És megidézett minket. A... Na, gyönyörű. Um, igen. Egy problémám van. Hogy emlékszem, hogy voltak olyan domének, ahol IS nélkül nem lehetett megcsinálni a domént. Mondjuk mivel ez Archon Quest, feltételezem, hogy nem áll fenn ez a helyzet, de azért egy kicsit... Hoppá. Kicsit azért meg vagyok ijedve. Na, oda kell majd bejutnunk.
What's that? Coming at ya!
Hogy merészelsz a pofámba rakni egy indát?
Feeling lucky? Hiya! This one's got your name on it. A proper
Well.
send-off from the Spino. Umbrella warfare, I guess.
Potato! Mennyi kaja! Mindjárt mehetünk főzni megint. Ó, na ez új. Ha. Oké. Ez új volt. Ó, köszönöm szépen. Azt hittem legalább segíteni akarsz? Várjál, what the fuck. Hogy melyek oda fő? Ja, úgy. Oké. Na.
What in Tevat is going on here? This place is getting weirder by the minute. Hey, what's the matter? You don't look so good.
Really? Oh. Az igen. Na jó, ezt tetszik, ez jó volt. Szép. Nagyon be lehetünk tépve. Ha. Oh, what the fuck.
Well. Looks like we meet again, traveler.
The Abyss Herald! What are you planning to do in this strange place?
Strange place. Plotting. You needn't worry about such things. They don't concern you.
Ugh, fuck.
Before the abyss.
Attack! Yoo-hoo! Coming at ya!
Nem láttam a sok effektől, hogy hova megy. Epp, az adót, a skillem. Haver. Hát miből vagy te? Ha? Miből vagy te? Oké.
Why can't we beat this guy?
Azért, mert rohadtul halucinálunk szerintem, még mindig meg nem tudom.
Though you may have managed to avert countless crises before, your good fortune was bound to end sooner or later. It's time you realize how weak and powerless you really are.
Nem fog itt véget érni az utam. Szót nem mondtam a tesómra.
Are you really so ignorant? Or are you just living in complete denial? His Highness has long since forsaken you. Your meager existence in his eyes is that of an annoying bug, only to be stepped upon. The bonds of love and family which drive you to find your sibling are utterly gone. Your journey is meaningless. But don't you fret now. Today will be your last. Now die!
Most nem tudom eldönteni, hogy most tényleg küzdünk vele, vagy haluzunk, de leginkább haluzunk. Ja.
What do we do? Oh, there she is! Quick! Well, the good news is that she's still conscious. Hey, why'd you drop her food on the floor like that?
Elbambultam egy kicsit.
Are you okay? That's really not like you. Anyways, we can talk about this later. We better make sure she's alright first. Whoa, wait a sec. Look at all this fruit lying around her. We can put that to good use.
Who's there? Tainari, is that you?
Pont úgy nézünk ki.
Huh?
It's okay. You can relax, Hypatia. Tainari sent us here to bring you some food and water. Here, we have a letter that he asked us to give you.
Éj. Hát mondjuk ilyen cutscene-ekkel, átvezető videókkal simán el lehet húzni
I
az időt.
see. So, you're friends of Tainari. I apologize for all the trouble I've caused you. I'm grateful that you came so quickly to save me. You even brought all this fruit.
Hát nem, az az Aranara volt.
Actually, we didn't bring the fruit. It was already here when we arrived. We were kind of wondering about that, actually. When we
Vagy
found
Arana.
you here, there
Vagy
was
nem tudom,
all this
már nem
fruit
emlékszem a
lying around and
fogalmaikra,
even
mert
some
annyira
juice
sok volt.
dripping from your lips. How did you end up like this anyway?
Oh, really? I seem to understand now. All the fruit was likely from my, neighbor. Must have come by and saw me like this.
Your neighbor? You mean there's someone else living nearby?
Mi... Úgy néz ki, mint egy káposzta?
Oh? So you're able to see them too?
Sajnos igen. De mi káposztához nem hasonlítottam őket?
You saw some mysterious creature and suddenly had a strange dream? Isn't that a little too crazy to believe?
No, I actually do believe what the traveler is saying. I myself had a similar experience once before and ended up scaring my timid little neighbor here. You needn't worry. They mean you no harm. They only dragged you into the dream because they hoped to buy themselves a little time in order to scurry away.
So, Hypatia, just what kind of creature is your neighbor exactly?
I'm not sure what it's called, to be honest. But I do know that they have some sort of deeper connection with the Dendro Archon. I know this because the first time I saw them was also the exact day my consciousness was able to form a connection with Irminsul. Even after I opened my eyes and stopped meditating, my heart was still pounding, and my mind was racing with all the knowledge that I had touched. And at that very moment, I suddenly noticed a small figure at the opening of the cave. In my curiosity, I began to walk over to the creature. They must have already been used to me living in the cave, because they didn't seem to mind me approaching them. They just kept doing whatever they were up to. It wasn't until I crouched down next to them that they suddenly realized that I could see them.
Oh! And then?
And then I had a dream. By the time I came to, they were nowhere to be seen. I was convinced they'd never show up again. But sure enough, I saw them nearby a few days later. And they weren't alone. I feel like they aren't as afraid of me as the first time I approached them. But I never would have expected them to save me.
Úgy hangzik, mint egy jó szomszéd.
Yes, no doubt about that. By the way, Tainari mentioned in his letter that you had questions for me regarding Irminsul. Sorry about that. Sounds like just drinking juice still isn't quite enough for my stomach.
Well, if somebody hadn't dropped the food earlier...
Ha! Kösz, Paimon.
Anyway, looks like we'll need to prepare something ourselves. Besides, Paimon's getting hungry too. Let's eat first and talk about Irminsul later. All right, we're up, traveler. Today's menu will feature sweet madame and a rich
Nem
veggie
tudom,
soup.
hogy van-e.
You'll love them, Hypatia. There are specialties after all.
Radish
Sounds
veggie biztos
good.
nincs.
I've never
Sweet
tried any dishes
Szerintem
from other
Sweet
nations
Madame
before.
sincs.
I certainly look forward to it. It's been so long since I've had a decent meal, too.
Remek. És hol a viharba? Főzzek. Aha. Értem.
Let's light it up!
Oh, nem kell nekem főzni, jó van, hál' Istennek.
All done! Let's use the empty box that Tainari gave us since we already watched it. Oh, it smells amazing! And the box is a nice touch too! Let's go serve this up and start eating with Hypatia!
Fantasztikus. Nesze. Mármint tessék.
Are you already finished cooking? Smells delectable. I'm truly thankful whenever I can enjoy a proper meal like this. Cooking really isn't my forte.
Nekem is adhatnátok egy falatot.
Even though
Csak gyorsan
everything
bedobtam
mentioned
egy
was
kis
in
szendvicset.
Tainari's letter, it's still hard to believe you were able to connect with Irminsul immediately after smelling Spiritborn Ale for the first time. It took me nearly 3 years before I could do so. And everyone at the Academia even lauded me as a genius.
Hát én ilyen különleges vagyok, nem tehetek róla.
You should know that some researchers spend their entire lives without ever successfully connecting with Irminsul as you have.
So why does this incense allow people to connect to Irminsul?
The ingredients used to make Spiritborn Ale primarily consist of plants created by Greater Lord Rukkhadevata. These special ingredients are conducive to heightening our senses to the Dendro Archon's power. Since the root of the Dendro Archon's power lies within Irminsul, we can occasionally tap into her powers to peer into the depths of the earth.
Azt sem értem, hogy mit
Naturally.
mondasz.
Anyone who can establish a connection with Irminsul in their first ever attempt must be a person of great understanding.
Makes sense. But Paimon's got a question. Why was she sensitive to the smell of those plants for such a long time?
That was primarily due to her body's unique constitution. Stimulated by the incense, she could perceive the Dendro Archon's power and experience the sensory overload, hence the adverse reactions. Taking in any scent similar to the ingredients of Spiritborn Ale would cause adverse effects. Not to worry though, it appears you've already fully recovered. Technically, your body should still be sensitive to the powers of the Dendro Archon, but unless you're using intentional meditation techniques, the scent of Spiritborn Ale should no longer trigger such reactions.
Nagyon jó.
Well, that's a relief.
Irány meditálni.
I must admit, I am quite envious of your abilities. Even if it meant suffering from pounding headaches for the rest of my life, I'd consider it worthwhile so long as I could connect with Irminsul at will.
Whoa, you're really serious about this whole thing, aren't you?
I am a researcher after all. As a member of the Ritaoist Darshan at the Academia, my main area of research is the stars and their connection to the fate of living beings. But there is still so much we don't know, especially regarding the mysteries that lie in the starry skies. Which is why I must turn to the all-knowing Irminsul for answers. If only my perception wasn't so limited. Unfortunately, I cannot guarantee that my every attempt to attune with Irminsul will be successful, or that doing so will leave my consciousness intact. I am currently in the stage of training known as Satyavada life. Many researchers in Sumeru have lost their minds while seeking to attune with Irminsul during this stage. Sages have said that Irminsul contains divine knowledge, and touching such knowledge without the proper preparations and abilities will only lead to one's mind caving in on itself.
Soha nem figyeltem rá fel, hogy milyen hangokat adnak ki ezek.
That's why we meditate alone. We need to ensure that our minds will be calm while minimizing the possibility of involving anyone else.
Whoa, so knowledge from Irminsul could be super dangerous. Don't you ever feel afraid of the risk, Hypatia?
Of course I do. Especially during nights that are pitch black with no moonlight, and dead silent without even the sound of insects. However, I've been feeling better as of late. I don't get as scared anymore knowing that I have a little neighbor living nearby. I believe that being able to see them is a sort of blessing from the Dendro Archon. But what's strangest of all is that they're clearly an envoy of the God of Wisdom herself. And they have the curious power to make people dream.
What's so strange about that? It doesn't sound so out of place for a divine being, does it?
Na igen.
Well, it's strange because nearly nobody in Sumeru can ever dream.
Oh, is that true?
Yes, well, to an extent. Only children can dream in Sumeru. Adults, however, never do. The sages say that wisdom implies rationality, but that which occurs in dreams is often neither rational nor logical.
Kiakadok, amikor azt csinálja a játék, hogy ad két opciót, de a kettő igazából követi egymást,
Yes, if one
és
struggles with
külön-külön
anxieties,
nincs
those
értelme.
emotions could influence their dreams. The fact that the people
Általában
of
a második
Sumeru do
meg
not have
abszolút
dreams
semmi
is
értelme
seen as a
nincs.
blessing by the sages. They believe that Greater Lord Rukkhadevata, the god of wisdom, is keeping us away from the foolish delusions you encounter in your sleep.
Nem is tévedhetnének nagyobbat. Mert ez konkrétan már elszpoilerezte nekem az internet, hogy miért nem
I was born
álmodnak.
into a family of scholars in Sumeru City. Ever since I was a child, my parents would always tell me that I'll know I've grown up once I stop dreaming. I studied hard, enrolled as a student in the academia, and went on to become a researcher. Sure enough, I never dreamed again. But then, on the day I scared the little Aranara, I suddenly saw a dream again. It was incredible. Though I don't exactly remember what I saw, I clearly recall the feeling. I suddenly felt like I was a child again. Back then, I was foolish and ignorant as any youth would be, but I was free of fear. Maybe dreaming isn't as bad as we've made it out to be. Just be sure not to speak of this if you travel to Sumeru City. They'll look at you as if you've lost your mind.
So, do you have any thoughts about the things she saw when she connected with Irminsul?
Sorry. I'm afraid I don't have any answers as of now. All I can say is that what you saw is a memory contained within Irminsul itself. World forget me. What could that possibly mean? If only I could ascend past Satyavada life and begin Paripurna life. I might have some more answers for you. If you two are ever in the area again, please be sure to come and see me.
Sok sikert a terveidhez.
There's no need to be thanking me. You two are my saviors. Besides, I'm already looking forward to tasting some more of your cooking.
De jó, még egy emberre főzhetek. Fantasztikus.
Now that we know Hypatia is alright and had the chance to ask her some questions, Paimon thinks it's about time to head back to Gandharvaville.
Oké. Közben hogy állunk? Még mindig kell 13 primo. Hát... Csak meg lesz. Legfeljebb elkezdünk ládákat vadászni. Nem lennének ezek a lasszós pontok, nem tudom, hogy közlekednék
Think
Sumeruban.
about it, Tainari. Refusing to join is tantamount to burying your head in the sand. I understand that you're a forest watcher and that it's your duty to combat the effects of withering zones. But isn't it evident that such work is not a lasting solution to the problem? As Sage Kage clearly stated, your presence and guidance in Sumeru City is pivotal in finding a cure for Irminsul. How could you possibly refuse?
Keep your emotions in check, Gulam. Let's at least listen to Tainari's reason for declining. We're here to
Miért nincs a
invite him to
fülükbe
the
olyan vacak?
academia, not to cause a scene.
Sage Kage, I am truly honored that you came here in person, but I'm afraid I must still decline your invitation. I am merely a forest watcher. How could the great minds of the Haravatat have any need of someone like me?
Well, it turns out that your refusal letter had some implications on your master's reputation. He is a renowned sage of the Immorta, after all. So now I've come here in his stead.
I see. Well, I figured that given his temper, he would come here and berate me personally.
Tainari, your master is an integral part of this effort, and now he requires your assistance.
And what exactly does my master need of me, Sage Kage?
You'll know once you've arrived in Sumeru City, that is.
And, how long will I be required to stay?
There's no definite answer as of now.
Nincs túl sok kedve elmenni.
Do you mean to tell me that despite coming all the way here to Gandharvaville, you still can't answer the questions I laid out in the letter to my master? If that's the case, then I'm afraid I cannot give you a definite answer either.
Jó válasz.
Tainari, but you...
So be it. Come, Gulam, we're leaving.
Jó válasz. Jaj. Csodálom, hogy az akadémia nem kérdőjelezte meg Paimon létezését.
It's nothing. Some people from the academia wanted me to go to Sumeru City to assist them with a project, but I had to refuse on account of all my responsibilities here. But all that can wait. How did things go with Hypatia?
It was quite the eventful trip, but the main thing is that she's safe and sound. She answered a bunch of questions for us, too.
Very good. Now that the traveler has made a full recovery, there shouldn't be any reason for you to tarry here longer. I assume you will be heading to Sumeru City, correct?
That's right.
Hát, ha nem jön közbe
Ask
semmi.
Lord Kusanali and ask her for advice. Do you have any idea on how we can find her?
Sorry, I'm afraid I don't have any advice for you there.
Well, do you at least know anyone we can try asking in Sumeru City?
Let me think. My trips to Sumeru City have been fairly short, and most of my acquaintances are researchers. Oh, how about this? I'll write you a letter of introduction that you can give to a researcher I know. He's from the Amorta Darshan and is adept at gathering information. Asking him might prove worthwhile.
Alhétam?
Also, when you enter Sumeru City, you'll probably end up receiving
Nem
something
tudom,
like this item
mert
here.
nem ismerem a
I'm not
küldőt.
sure if it will ever come in handy for you.
Oh? What is it?
It's called an Akasha Terminal.
De,
It's a tool produced by the academia that utilizes the legacy of Greater Lord Rukkhadevata. Some say that this item is the very basis of Sumeru's reputation as the City of Wisdom. Needless to say, this device and its usage fall under the academia's expertise, so I'll leave it to them to show you how to use it.
Great! Next up, Sumeru City! But wait, before that...
ja, el kéne búcsúznunk Kollajtól is.
That's right! Tainari, we have something important to say to Kale before we leave. Is she doing better now?
Yes, she's doing much better. After being confined to her bed all this time, I thought a little walk would do her some good. Last I saw her, she was taking the path towards the North Crossing. She knew you two would be leaving soon, so she must have wanted to see you off.
Thanks, Tainari. All right, let's go!
Farewell,
Let's go.
and good luck to you both.
Köszönjük szépen. Aha. Az egy kollaj.
I've been waiting for you two. Never mind. I guess I should just wish you two a safe and successful journey.
Thanks for waiting here just to see us off, Kale. We're headed to Sumeru City.
Vigyázz magadra.
Don't worry about me. I can take care of myself. My condition won't be getting in the way of my duties. I want to be a forest ranger after all. It's up to me and the others to protect the rainforest here. And, I'm sorry. I should have told you both about my condition when we first met. I just wanted you two to treat me as a normal friend. Not some girl that needs your sympathy. But I guess now I understand that the most important thing is for friends to be genuine with one another.
There's no need to apologize, Kale. We should be thanking you for trusting us enough to be your friends and sharing your past with us. We're probably still gonna worry about your condition, but that's because we're friends and we care about you.
Thank you. That means a lot. Before you leave, I have something for you.
Oh? What
Mégpedig?
is it?
It's my recipe for pita pockets.
Ah,
I told you that I'd give you a copy, remember?
Nem úszom meg.
Thanks, Kale. Now we can eat those scrumptious little pitas whenever and wherever we like.
I hope that whenever you eat them, you'll both remember your time here in Gandharvaville.
Hát persze.
Well then, I, trainee Forest Ranger Kale, bid you both farewell. Please visit Gandharvaville again. The Rangers will always be ready to assist you here.
A viszontlátásra. Uff. És ez még mindig az akt 1. De eljutunk egyből, jó van. Na, viszont... Két dolgot akarok. Egyszer... Bakker, hol vannak ezek? 3 csillagos, jó, akkor egyenlőre ezzel nem foglalkozok. Viszont megvan a Primo is, jó van, gyorsan húzunk. Egyszer standarden. Oh yeah, Favonius meg Lion. Ja. Fantasztikus, és akkor 4 húzásunk van Shironenre. Ami sajnos még nem garantált, már ha lesz olyan szerencsénk. De ha beadná Shironent kapásból, az tök jó lenne, mert különben nem... Ne basszál! Úristen!
If you'd like me to forge some tools for you, just let me know. But I do have quite the backlog of commissions at the moment, so even if you submit a request now, it might be a while before I get to it.
Kösz! Azért akartam 4-et húzni, mert úgy jöttünk volna ki kerek 60 pitire. De jelek szerint megkönyörült rajtam a játék. Úgyhogy akkor itt meg is álltunk, köszönöm szépen. Lett egy Shironenünk. Very nice, very nice. Nem tudom, hogy meddig bírom húzni. Nem sokáig valószínűleg. Én már hogy korcsolyázik már most. És ez meg az új boss lesz. Vagy ez melyik? Ja, annak még nem estem neki. Jó van. Szuper. Lett egy Shironen. A következő projekt... Várj. Gondolkodok, hogy a fegyverére rámenjek, de nem vagyok benne biztos, hogy megéri. Az a baj, hogy nagyon nincs most primóm, úgyhogy... Mert alapjáraton, amióta ezen változtattak, hogy már minden másodikra garantáltat kapsz, azóta ez tök jó, de... Ja, ez az övé. De sajnos... túl kicsi az esélye, hogy... beadja. Hogy állunk fegyverben, Neren? Hát szarul. Ja, mert kiszedtük. Ha már kiesett a karakter, egyből ki is szedtük a fegyverét, mert akkor még jobban el voltunk látva Primóval. De sajnos most nem áll fent ez a helyzet.
We finally made it. Oh, did you see that? When those people entered the city, something on their heads lit up.
Azért nem volt rajtuk, mert csak a városban működik.
It appears this is your first time visiting Sumeru City.
Oh, yeah, that's right. But how did you know that?
Because there's currently no information on either of you in the Akasha. But no need to worry, that won't prevent you from entering the city. In fact, the Academia conveniently provides each traveler to Sumeru City with a device. Perhaps you too have heard of the Akasha before. It's our beloved Greater Lord Rukkhadevata's lasting legacy, a treasure trove of collected knowledge. After centuries of tireless research on the Akasha, the Academia created one of its most ingenious inventions, the Akasha Terminal.
Egyébként tök hasznos lenne egy ilyen cucc a valóságban.
Within Sumeru's borders, you may use an Akasha terminal to connect directly to the Akasha and access any knowledge you need. I should mention that due to technical limitations, the operation of Akasha terminals will be much smoother and more effective in large cities such as Sumeru City and Port Ormos.
Tainari was telling us about. It sounds pretty amazing.
You two are quite fortunate. Until recently, it was standard practice to only issue Akasha terminals to outlanders who spent an extended amount of time in Sumeru. However, this policy was recently changed, and now all travelers are issued one upon arrival. Here are your Akasha terminals. Please handle them with care.
És nekem is világítani fog a fülem.
It kinda looks like a leaf.
To activate it, simply hold it in your hand and say the following phrase to yourself. May the mighty God bless us with their voice of wisdom.
És ez miért kellett elváltoztatni egy kicsit a hangját?
Since this little doodad lets you access knowledge, maybe we can use it to find a way to meet Lesser Lord Kusanali. Let's give it a try. May the mighty God bless us with their voice of wisdom.
Amit ő is mondott. Ha. What the fuck?
Whoa. Just now, something clicked, and Paimon suddenly knew how to use this thing. It seems all we need to do is concentrate on what we want to know, and bam! You get it. Oh, that'll come in real handy.
Exactly. That is the power of the Akasha. And with that, let me officially welcome you both to Sumeru City. May the wisdom of the Dendro Archon always be your guide.
Okay,
Köszönjük szépen.
we can check the Akasha about Lesser Lord Kusanali. Let Paimon try. 500 years ago, the sages found a newly born deity from within some scorched ruins. The deity now resides in the sanctuary of Suristana. Seems pretty similar to what Kali was telling us. Okay, next, let's concentrate on asking how to meet her. Paimon doesn't sense anything. The Akasha didn't respond to Paimon's question.
Az enyém se reagált.
Come on! Focusing on this question feels like when you have something you're trying to remember and it's on the tip of your tongue, but you just can't think of it. Paimon's
Túl sokszor előfordul. Megpróbálok valami mást kérdezni tőle.
Smart idea! But what are you going to ask it?
Greater Lord Rukadabata.
Uh-oh. Paimon's getting all teary-eyed all of a sudden. It feels like the people of Sumeru really miss their Archon.
Lesser Lord Kusanali. Semmi hasznos. A Greater Lordról meg csak annyit tudtunk meg, hogy hiányolják az emberek.
Glad it's not just Paimon.
Miért nem válaszol az Akasha a kérdésemre?
Could it be because we're Outlanders and we've only just arrived in Sumeru? You know, maybe we're not qualified to receive an answer to this sort of question or something.
Ja. Az Akasha azt mondta, hogy rengeteg mindentől függ, hogy milyen kérdésre válaszol. Nem mindegy, hogy ki kérdezi, milyen korú, hova valósi, és a többi, és a többi. És nincs ideje minden egyes kérdésre válaszolni.
Seems no matter which way we try,
Tehát kaptunk egy kifogást.
that'll lead us to Lesser Lord Kusanali. Guess our only choice now is to try meeting with the researcher that Tainari recommended. He's from Sumeru and even has a position in the academia. Maybe he'll be able to access more info from the Akasha. Let's see. Tainari wrote an address on the letter's envelope. Oh, it's...
Okay.
Hello, are you Rohawi?
Yes, that's me. Can I help you?
Great! You see, Tainari sent us here and...
What? Tainari? Please, there's no need to say anything, really. Sure, I admit that the article I published last month wasn't my best work, and maybe the data didn't produce the most convincing results, but...
Szinte félreértettél minket.
This is a letter from Tainari.
Oh, let me see. Oh, ooh, what a relief. You two nearly scared the life out of me. So you two just have some questions for me? Seems even Tainari acknowledges my innate ability for procuring information. So, what is it you two would like to know?
We want to meet with Lesser Lord Kusanali. Do you know a way we can do that?
You mean you want to meet the Dendro Archon herself? This isn't exactly my area of expertise, but let me see what I can find in the Akasha.
Hát, ha annyira segítőkész, mint velünk, akkor nem sokat.
Sorry, the Akasha didn't respond to my query.
What? You too? But what about your abilities for getting information and all that? Paimon was sure you'd be able to access...
Valószínűleg ez szándékosan így van programozva, hogy bizonyos témákra nem válaszolhat.
Well, as I said, this isn't my area of expertise. I am but a lowly researcher, so the Akasha doesn't see a need for me to know more about the Dendro Archon. All I know is that ever since Lesser Lord Kusanali returned to Sumeru, she's never left the Sanctuary of Sorasthana or made a public appearance.
Ne vagy inkább nem hagyták.
The Dendro Archon is somewhat of a recluse. Perhaps she just doesn't want to entertain visitors, which would explain the lack of information in the Akasha.
But then what can we do?
No need to worry just yet. I'm only hypothesizing here. You could certainly try asking around and see if anyone else has ideas. And besides, you two should consider the bright side of things. Not being able to see Lesser Lord Kusanali may not be a bad thing. In this world, there will always be information you cannot obtain from the Akasha, and things you can never accomplish. Knowing when to yield is a form of wisdom. Take me, for example. It's a miracle if my brain cells can spit out one paper every 3 years. But Tainari? That guy can publish 3 papers in just a single year.
Okay. Thanks for your advice.
Don't mention it. If you two ever want information about things like who's been promoted within the academia or relations between the 6 great sages, come find me. Hey, come on. This is a survival skill at the academia.
Paimon's expectations were pretty low, but this is so low, it's like digging holes in the dirt.
Szegény csávó. Ezt így előtte.
We don't know anybody here.
Még egy emberről tudunk.
Like who?
Hát ezt elbeszélsz.
You're right! Catherine! The Adventurers Guild has its own intel network. Let's hurry and find her.
Nem tudom, hogy ez fönt van. Nem, ott van. Akkor megyünk, gyalog. Ó, arra nem gondoltam, hogy ott elakadok.
Ad Astra Abyssosk. Hello, Traveler and Paimon.
Catherine, we need your help with something.
Understood. The Adventurers Guild is always ready to serve you. With what do you require assistance?
We want to meet with Lesser Lord Kusanali. Do you know a way we can do that?
You two wish to meet with Sumeru's Archon. Understood. Please wait.
Itt tényleg tisztára robotként hangzik, ahogy beszél. Jaj, megint.
I apologize, but I am unable to call up any relevant information in the Akasha. I'm also unable to locate any pertinent information in my personal memory.
Another dead end. Well, if Catherine can't help us, then we really don't know anyone else to ask now.
Please do not worry. I may know of someone who can help you two. In Sumeru, the Adventurers Guild does not serve as the vanguard of information. Rather, there are numerous active mercenary groups collectively known as the Eremites. They take on various contracts and work all across Sumeru, so they naturally accrue intelligence. An Eremite brigade called the Corps of 30 is in charge of Sumeru City's defenses. Not only are they the oldest brigade, but they are responsible for managing and coordinating the affairs of all other mercenary brigades.
Corps of 30? What a weird name.
Használható infónak tűnik.
Supposedly, they are named as such because their ranks numbered 30 at their inception. Asfand, an advisor with the Corps of 30, maintains good relations with the Adventurers Guild. Though he's already retired, he and his words carry great weight within mercenary circles. If you'd like to get in contact with him, you can find him at the Corps of 30's headquarters, the Citadel of Rexar.
Köszi, Catherine.
You're welcome. I wish you two the best of luck. We look forward to your exploits in Sumeru.
Alright, off to the Citadel
Szuper.
of Rexar we go!
Szerintem eddig megyünk. Nem tudom, hogy mennyi van még hátra belőle, de már nincs sok idő hátra. Úgyhogy még gyorsan megnézem, mielőtt elfelejtem. Ezt nem tudom húzni, ezt viszont tudom húzni. Úgyhogy adunk egy refine-t neki. Remek. Sok mindent nem csináltunk, de azért megnézem, hogy tudok-e felajánlani. Mi a fenét? Nem is innen megyek? Hogy volt ez? Egy szobortól megyek? Honnan megyek? Ja? Szobortól. Ja, már emlékszem. Rémálmaim voltak ettől a helytől sokáig. De szerintem nem tudunk nagyon felajánlani, mert igazából csak az Archon Questen belül nyitogattunk ládákat, nem tudom azok mennyire adnak sigileket. Ugye Inazumában a fánál lehet, Sakura Tree-nél feláldozni sigilt. Itt meg van a rana. Nem elég. Fuck. Akkor erről is ennyit. Még kell egy 20 rezint elverni. Azt is még gyorsan megcsináljuk. Úgyis fogyóban van a goldunk.
Feeling lucky? Hey there!
Ó, nem azt akartam. Nem ezt akartam ütni, de nekem így is jó, hogyha az auto-target megoldotta. Mert még erre is emlékeztem, hogy ez itt van logóba. És még holnap, ha 110-et összeszedek, akkor, vagyis hát majd 120-at, akkor pont meg lesz ez is. Hát itt is kimaxoljuk. Hopp, ott még egy loot. A következő részben szerintem nekiesünk Enkanomiának. Hát ugye csak annyit csináltunk, hogy lementünk és összeszedtük az első teleportot. És annak is meg akarjuk csinálni a küldetéseit, úgyhogy 2-3 World Questen keresztül Enkanomiában fogunk alkotni majd. Kedden megyünk Enkanomiába, csütörtökön megcsináljuk Ittónak a story questjét, hogy annyival is közelebb kerüljünk a kezemhez. Nem vettem le a jelzést a térképről, de majd elmúlik. Szombaton pedig haladunk tovább az Archon Quest-tel. Good. Nem tudom, mikor lesz Shilonen felhúzva, mert még mindig ott tartok, hogy mielőtt tovább megyek, ki akarom maxolni Naviát és Furinát, illetve Yao talentjeit fel akarom még húzni, mert még itt kéne 3 szint ebbe. És hogyha ők 3-an megvannak, akkor még mindig itt van 4 másik karakter, akinek még az artefaktjait rendeznem kell, úgyhogy még odébb van, hogy új karakter húzásába kezdjek, de legalább gyűjtögetjük a karaktereket. Meg lesz időnk kifarmolni a bosszaikat. Na. Hát én nagyon szépen köszönöm, hogy csatlakoztatok az első Sumerus Arkonquestemre, és remélem, hogy találkozunk a következő adásban is. Mindenkinek szép hétvégét és jó éjszakát kívánok. Sziasztok!